Hi everyone. Thanks for coming back to another Toy Talk with your favorite Uncle Urchin. I'm really glad that we get to keep doing this, and as long as you keep coming back, we're gonna keep it up. So, are you ready to get started? Yeah! Today's theme, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles! Alright, so I got a pretty decent little haul to show you. Lobster and I went to the toy museum we've talked about on Black Friday this year, and I just went for fun mostly, but while I was there, I got myself a couple of cool scores. So, I got a couple of OG Pez dispensers, both the Toon and the more like Mirage look with the growly face and the smiley face. But the particularly cool thing I was able to snag was this totally radical giant Raph. So you've heard me talk about big figures in the past, and how as a kid I hated them because they're giant, and it's like, how do you make, this is just not fun to play with. But what it is fun to do with as an adult is set it in back of whatever you're setting up and using it as like a cool backdrop. Yeah, so it even still has his belt, which is kind of crazy because they're fabric and, the accessories are always something that gets lost. But Raph still has his belt. And it's a little tattered, but you know what? That's not so bad because it adds to Raph's personality as the edgier turtle. I cleaned him up, I used a magic eraser on him. He does have some discoloration, like you can see his sticker had been slapped to him at some point and created a weird kind of square pattern. On the other hand, he's got this cool scuff mark, which, again, just sort of adds to, his bad attitude. So, totally righteous turtle score, Black Friday, Toy Museum. Totally stoked. And then for Christmas, lucky little boy that I am, my good friend Freddie hooked me up with this totally ill shredder from the O2 line of the Playmates toys. The O2 line, as I'm sure a lot of you know, would be like the precursor to the O3 cartoon series. I pretty much missed out on that phase of Turtle Mania, basically because I was like around 14, 15, I think. And what it boils down to is my focus had shifted from toys to like music and cinema. And so even though at the time I was still buying the Mirage comic book series, volume 4, when Peter Laird started the book up again, and it was illustrated by Jim Lawson with cover paintings by Mike Dooney, I still just missed out on the O3 series. I didn't have cable, so I didn't really watch it. Every time I would go to Toys R Us, I would scope out the section and be like, man, these are really cool. Well, when it boiled down to it, was I going to spend like the $10 on a toy, or was I going to spend it on a couple of $5 movies at Walmart, or, a $15 CD or something like that? So it's a bummer that I missed out on it, but obla di, obla da, as the Beatles once put it, you know what I'm saying? So thank you, Freddy Boy, for this ill figure. I really love the sculpt on this shredder. I think he's way cool. A total badass. I love the fact that you don't see his face and then it's just like black. He's also got this sweet, the sweet clawed hand. And this was back before Playmates started adding all the like shoulder and elbow articulation, when they were still just kind of like straight up and down, and they would chop up the sculpt to create different types of movement. So yeah, he came with this big old staff, and then he also came with the old dual sword, and then you can actually put the two together to give him like a cool staff. So right now I've got my shredder from 88, my shredder from 02, and my shredder from 2012 guarding my bookcase. So it's cool seeing the three of them together. while I'm at it, I'm just going to show off my sweet mug. Look at this, old school. This is a 1990 as well. I'm not really sure who did the art on it, but it is pretty cowabungalicious, if you ask me. So also for Christmas, my mama got me some toys, and I feel pretty good about it. She was really excited to get me this Splinter 1988 OG figure. Yeah, the way she narrates the tale is that when I was a little itty bitty baby, she would get me out of the bath, and about that time the Ninja Turtles would be coming on, and we'd watch it together. So she is a big Ninja Turtles fan too. So it's cool that she got excited to get me the in-package Splinter. In-package stuff really, it's kind of like whatever. The reason why I like these older figures is because of the sick art. Like, look at the art. I love how, you get to see Splinter posed in the various poses. You get the portrait with the various, stats and whatnot. And I also love seeing all the old figures on the backs of these old ones. My mother was a little bummed to find out this wasn't like an original run of like the first, what was it, like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 toys. I don't remember how many the original run had. But it's okay, because the card art, like, I don't really care. So thanks, Mom. You're awesome. I appreciate you. Love you very much. And moving on. She also got me this totally dope pizza face, because she knows how much I love pizza face. She didn't think I had one. I do have a loose one who is in my kitchen. He guards my Ninja Turtle cookbook with meat sweats. And yeah, very cool. Love the art. She was very bummed out to find out that his head is like broken, which is kind of crazy that his head is broken. You should see the look on Lobster's face right now. Yeah, somehow his like neck is snapped. After like analyzing the packaging and through my process of deduction, I have no idea how that could have happened. It must have happened sometime before it ended up in the packaging, and somehow went in broken, because it's intact. The packaging hasn't been tampered with. It's utterly crazy. And it would explain why it's still in the packaging, because anybody who picked this up off the shelf and saw that the head was rattling around in there didn't buy it. So it works out okay because it's in the packaging. Don't have to worry about it coming apart. Just enjoying the super dope art and the general presentation on this one. Portrait of a pizza face, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read this stuff. I don't know if you guys like it when I read this stuff. Maybe you should comment and let me know how you feel if you want me to in the future. That would be cool, because, I want to cater to you guys at least to a certain degree. If you cater to me, I'll cater to you. We scratch each other's backs, alright? Sound good? Alright. Then lastly, for Christmas, I got myself this totally dope IGLOO cooler. So, this style of cooler from IGLOO is called the Playmate, right? And it's done with the art style of the old Playmates Ninja Turtles action figures. Talk about some dope serendipity right there. So, about over a year ago, I think, I had seen one of these on someone's post. Like, it was just a picture of somebody with this lunchbox. And I was like, OMG, like, I've got to sleuth that down. So I jumped on IGLOO's website and sold out. Around Christmas, I typed TMNT into Google search and did a generic search and hit shopping. This is the very first thing to pop up. So I was like, holy cow, I gotta have it. Like, I had looked at their Star Wars collabs and I'd been like, those are cool, but I'd really rather have the Turtles one. And now I do. It was good to hold off in this particular situation. So, IGLOO collab series times Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Got the cool little tag here. Blah, blah, blah. Got some other info. Should I read it or not? I guess you're going to have to leave comments in order for me to know whether that's something you guys like to hear or not. But yeah, very cool party wagon, you know, from all sides. This is my favorite side. And then you get Shredder at the rear. So, button on top, boom, opens up, no thermos. My boy Zachary was very sad that there was no thermos. He thought it was BS, but you know, it's all good. It's not a thermos lunchbox. It's an igloo, right? So, boom. Are you guys familiar with NECA toys? They do a lot of really cool stuff. You know, I've seen a lot of really cool Predator figures. They do a lot of like horror action figures. They've got a Toon series of horror figures. I really like the Ninja Turtle figures. Like, that's what I follow, you know, actually like follow. The rest I peruse generally. So they were doing a pre-order in the recent past because scalpers were just making it impossible to get any of their figures. So fans expressed their displeasure about not being able to get a figure at a decent price. For instance, the Metalhead figure, which is probably only like maybe like a $60 figure, people just like couldn't get it, and it was going for like $300 online, I think. You know, there were like these various exclusives for Walmarts and Targets, you know, and just people couldn't get them. You know, I follow a lot of people in the community, and they take like update posts of like, this is what the Target looks like. I don't see any of such and such. So NECA listened. Thanks, NECA. And they did a pre-order for a bunch of their recent releases. Like the Super Shredder, for instance. And I was able to get one of these. We're going to open it. It's going to be awesome. They did a pre-order for Toka and Razor. Or Razar. Razar. As a kid, I always pronounced it Razor. And now I have to, like, correct myself. It's hard. But very cool. This was only available through the pre-order. So, and it was limited to two per purchase. So yeah, this one's a fairly limited edition in that regard. And I believe that the movie 2-packs were Walmart exclusives. So I think Walmart had the exclusive on the movie 2-packs, and Target had the exclusive on the Toon series. I really love the Toon series turtles. They're so authentic. The way they do like the paint job, it has that kind of, I think it's called cell shading, where you really see like the black lines against the paint job. Looks so cool. I don't have room or the finances to collect everything TMNT, so I just kind of stick to the movie stuff. Now, are you guys ready to crack these beasts open? I know I am. Got my tape cuts done for smooth sailing, so we're just going to get right into opening this Bad Jackson up. I don't remember if I showed off his little window box. It's got the little window box, which, personally, my opinion, versus the regular style window box, I like this more, because if you're trying to display your figure in package and you don't want the box being, you know, worn, you can only comfortably open it that far, which doesn't make for easy displayability. It's going to either come way off of a shelf. You know, if you force it open, you're going to get creases on either side, which sort of defeats the purpose of keeping it in the box. So I like the way Super 7 goes about their figures like this. Has a slip case that you can slide off, versus the flap. Just my personal opinion. Alright. This is going to be pretty epic. Holy cow. I'm pretty excited, guys. I've been waiting to open these. Like, I got them a couple weeks back, I think. 2 or 3. They've been trickling in, and oh yes, yeah, they've been trickling in, and I've just been waiting for me and Lobster to have a corresponding opportunity to kick it. So what do we have here? These straps are weird. It looks like I might have to snip it. I've never seen it like this. Okay, cool. Good thing I still have my scissors on me. Did any of you play with the original Playmates Ninja Turtles growing up? What about you, Lobster? Did you?
No. I actually didn't have hardly any turtles.
Because you came like a little bit later, so like it was the Batman the Animated Series boom, right?
Yeah, I went hard on the animated series.
Yeah, word up. That makes sense. Because yeah, I'm 88 baby. What were you born in 90?
89.
You were born in 89. All right.
December.
Yeah. Word. Heard. Yeah. So it was always funny, you know. There was never a toy line for the original Ninja Turtles movie. The studio did not believe in it. They were basically, "What have you done? You're ruining our franchise by making this really good, well-shot, well-written, gritty, edgy film. We don't support this at all." And so no toys, no merchandise to support that first movie. Everybody loved it. Boom. A lot of support went into the second movie, so there was a whole lot of, there was like a bunch of toys that corresponded. It's a good thing I have stuff to talk about. Do you see me struggling over here? There were a lot of toys that corresponded with the movie series. So, yeah, there was a Super Shredder, there were Token Razor, there was, all 4 turtles, and they called them, the movie star turtles. They had like a rubber style skin, which was pretty interesting. I don't think any of them looked like really authentic to the movie, but they did look cool, and they looked a lot different than the style that the other toys had established so far. So one of the things that was funny about the Super Shredder is that they were working within like the 3-inch scale. So Super Shredder, he was like, Super Shredder is huge. So the figure is like, he's got like a thick body, he's got his big shoulder pads and his like cool helmet, but his legs are like really stumpy. And it gives him the appearance of maybe having proportions similar to a little person, if you will. It was very funny. Now let's struggle with this some more, shall we? These little things are insane. Again, I've never seen weird tabs like this. I think I'm getting close. Alright, no, hold up. That's a leg snip. Boom. Oh my lord. It's got a fabric cape, so they gave us the little silica gel. Oh yes. Very nice. Wow. Look at that. Very cool. He's very weighted. He's got a nice weight to him. I was a little nervous about these guys. I still am a little bit, but they seem like they've got some give, so, just gotta be careful. You don't want to break it. Seems like the articulation is pretty stiff, which is nice, but it's always scary when it's too stiff. You know what I'm saying? And I've heard these horror stories of, like, people going to, like, move their figure, right? And then it's snapping because it's poorly built, and then there being like no return, because it's the collector, can't return it. All these policies are changing. So yeah, that's like marginally concerning, but it feels like it's just a matter of a well-built figure being new, and just needing a little bit of attention. Man, it makes it hard to move though because of these Okay, that arm's a little easier. Because of these spikes and not wanting to break them, they do have some give. Still, though, makes me nervous. I love the paint job on this figure. Let's say something positive. I don't want to make it sound like I'm crapping on the figure, because it is very cool. The paint job's ill, right? This arm is pretty stiff, so I'm going to work it. I'm going to work it some. Hands have nice detail. Kind of wrinkly, you know. He's very big. Get some. Ooh, yeah. It's a little tight, but again, pretty good. Just gotta baby it. Just gotta baby it, lobster. Itty bitty baby.
Does his mask come off?
Nah. It would be sweet though if it was Kevin Nash under there. It would be sweet if his mask came off and you took the mask off and then underneath was just Kevin Nash with the makeup around his eyes and whatnot.
Wait a minute, the wrestler?
Yeah. Kevin Nash, the wrestler, played Super Shredder. Right? So a little bit of movie trivia for anybody who didn't know that, like Lobster.
Yeah.
Head's cool. Same concerns with the movement. I just don't want to break it, you know? And I don't want to, say that it feels McFarlane-esque or anything like that, but I have concerns. Until it breaks, though, there's nothing negative to say. So, I'll stay with that. Yeah, I think I'm done just, fiddling around with him. Sorry to, just keep you guys hanging on the edge. You probably want to see some action taking place. We still got some accessories to open up. So we got the Ooze Canister. Where'd my scissors go? Right here. Open up the Ooze Canister and it's very cool. It says TGRI and that's the truth. Sometimes I just break in a song, guys. You probably haven't seen that happen. But it does happen. Is that right, Lobster? Have you seen me just break into song?
Often. What's TGRI?
Techno Global Research Industries, which they changed the name of TCRI, Techno Cosmic Research Industries, from the comic book to TGRI for the film, for reasons I don't really know. The spear has a little bit of a bend to it. It's not quite straight. It's always a bummer. But hey, what are you gonna do, right? And there's a bunch of hands we gotta get out of here as well. The changeable hands are really cool, but another example of I get nervous when it comes to that stuff, because I don't want to break them. So I wish they had him, I don't know, just a different way of doing the hands. The thing that's, for me, with these figures, it's that wrist joint. The wrist joint's concerning. If it was just a straight piece of plastic that popped in and out, probably wouldn't have the same level of concerns, but, call me a worry wart, but, you know how much I paid for this action figure? Enough. Alright. So he comes with, which is funny, comes with 5 extra hands. So that's an odd number of hands for those of you who can't count.
Why would they do that?
Well, that's what I'm getting ready to figure out. So you got the 2 closed fists. Okay. How much I got figured out. We've got... Alright, what do we got? We got 2 open hands. Then we have... Okay. 2 hands that have the ability of holding the spear. They're small enough too. But only 1 hand that can hold the mutagen for the Ooze Now it's time to see what this ooze can do. Isn't it? I just got the handout of this one. If you didn't hear me say it, the hand was like just on the verge of popping off. Like I could see the like gap being created between the joint on the wrist and the hand. So the plug is good. Like I get, you know, you want to have that plug to like keep it in there, but also you don't want people breaking their fingers and being unhappy. Like, oh, I got scared when I heard that sound, but it's okay. It did what it's supposed to. So now he's got no hands. So now this is what the Shredder looks like if when he had mutated his hands had fallen off. What hands do you want to see him with now? We got a big grabby hand. Oh, we got a closed hand for spear holding. We got the TGRI canister hand. Wow! Accessories galore. Here we go, guys. Are you ready? Me too. Well, I'm gonna try to put that in there. Gotta give it that same kind of heave ho that you did trying to get it out, I guess. Jesus. I mean, Jesus. I mean, heck, nabbit. Alright, I think it's in there. It's as far in as I'm gonna even try to go with it, because, you know, I really like the detail in the hands and how craggy they are. They did a really good job of making them look nasty. What do you think Shredder looked like under that? Like, what do you think his skin looked like? Ugh. So I'm just gonna, for the sake of show, let's see here. I'm going to lightly just kind of lightly put in an open hand, because when I display him, I'm not going to have the open hand. I will be holding with the spear, so, you know, pretty cool. I really love the detail in the hand, and I love that they have the open one for sure. Now, let's pop that out and get one of these holdy hands in there.
Come try some mutagen, son.
You know what doesn't make sense to me, Lobster? Comes with 5 hands, right? 2 different ones to hold the spear, and 1 to hold the mutagen. I think I just answered my own question. I was going to say, why do they need... Exactly. So Lobster just went like this.
Dual wield.
Yeah, exactly. Dual wield instead of just having, you know. So, mystery solved. Alright. The nice thing about the partially open hand is you can still punch people. This is a clunky figure, man. It's like got some weight to him. These legs are beefy. Mondo Beefalicious. Mondo Beefaroni. Remember Beefaroni? Makes you have to fart. Did you know that? Chef Boyardee? Not to say anything bad about the chef, but man, it'll give you the toots. Alright, guys. There we go. Boom. It's Super Shredder. He's got this spear that you never see him wielding in the movie. So there's that. He's got this mutagen canister that you never see him holding as Super Shredder in the movie. So there's that. So he comes with these 2 accessories that aren't really relevant, but that's okay. Because they're still cool and they're visually entertaining. What I think would have been cooler with the spear is if they had done something more along the lines of what the original Playmates spear looked like. It had more of a ball at the end with spikes going around it and then 2 small spikes on each side. If you're gonna do something that's not authentic anyways, you might as well homage the original toy. Again, that's just my opinion. The Canister of Ooze, still very cool, but what might have been more authentic would have been to have had the vial of ooze that he drinks to become Super Shredder. Again, these are just my opinions. I don't have anything negative to say about this figure other than I was very scared getting those hands in and out, and that they're a little on the tight side initially. Upon further inspection, I see some holes in my cape, so that's not really cool unless it came like that, but I kind of doubt it. So yeah, there's 3 holes in the cape. Does this look like the face of someone who's impressed? I don't think so. But whatever. Super Shredder. So after some investigation, these 3 little holes, it looks like in the packaging, I remember seeing me struggle with all those little ties. It looks like maybe there's a punch hole over here. It looks like maybe one of the ties ended up punched through the fabric. So I think that's what happened, which I imagine would be a machine error versus a human error. At the same time, you know, get it together. It's small, but that's how bigger problems start. Small. So we're gonna move on to Toka and Razor now. Very cool figure, like it a lot. There are some strange things, like as I was looking, you know, the armor's kind of loose, and you can see these 2 tabs where like it should lock into the chest, but it like just doesn't seem to actually do that. So that's kind of weird.
What's your favorite part about it?
I love the paint job. The paint job is my favorite part. So definitely like the way it's highlighted. I really like the detail in the eyes. They're like bugging out, and I really like the detail and the texture in the hands because it feels very authentic. Structurally, he's kind of standing a little weird. Like he almost doesn't seem to be aligned. Like his, I would say, like his midsection is crooked from his waistline, and then his upper body also sort of seems, his chest seems to also hold that same proportion. And, you know, I try not to be too negative, but I also give my honest opinion. So these are just things that I've noticed and I'm not really super crazy about. Overall, I still think the figure's cool. So, on to Toka and Razor. Alright, so I got the weapons out, I got Toka's hands out, and I just made all my snips, because, man, you saw how long I was taking. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to pull Razor out. Oh, I missed a snip. Oh, we got an ankle. We got an ankle. Oh, look out. Oh, got it. Alright. Oh, man. He feels really good, too. Like, the sculpt, the texture of the fur is very, very cool. The armor actually is like chains. Like, real little chains. So, it does have, like, that level of authenticity. Hopefully, you know, that doesn't affect it in terms of posability, because there are some joints. I guess it was probably made loose so that it wouldn't affect it. Though, I do see like they're getting kind of wedged into some different places. We'll see. We'll see. Feels cool. I think the key in some of these cases is as authentic as you want to make it, you still have to really consider play and posability, and the chain on this one is, you know, a little concerning. Whereas like Toka doesn't have any of those like unnecessary, like, I don't mean to say unnecessary because it is his armor, but
delicate.
Yeah, he's solid. There's no worries about this figure. This figure, we'll see. You know, I have concerns already. Just like with Shredder. You know, some things just play out a little better than others. Still a cool figure. This isn't a complaint. This is me just kind of feeling my way through it. You know what I mean? So legs feel good. Arms feel good. This one's a little tight. Oh yeah, nice and tight. And with the, you know, with the armor and stuff, I just don't want to like mess anything up. So there are those concerns. It's got a good sculpt though. Like they have a nice elbow joint, but then they have a nice cut up here as well. So it's like a 3-point articulation in the arm, one swivel, and then one like elbow joint. So that's pretty cool. These hands are great. The sculpt on these hands are very cool, very gnarly. I love the armor, which is like tire rubber with like nails sticking through it. The authenticity on this figure is super cool, and the sculpt is just very epic. Razar also has you know, some expression with the face. Seems to be a little more limited. I think it's just the mouth, and it doesn't seem to have a lot of play, but I guess there is some. Alright, so that's the Razar figure. Very cool. Now let's get into the accessories. And we've got an extra set of hands. So they both come with 2 hands. The open hands and 2 sets of partially closed hands. I'm not really certain why. So these ones are a little tighter, a little smaller, and then these ones are slightly more open. Okay. I see. It's weird, but I still get it. It's 2... weird. It's 2 different hands that are kind of the same, but at slightly bigger and smaller levels. I don't understand why. Maybe it's so that they each can hold... Okay, I think it's so that they each can hold each weapon. Confusion. Bear with me. And I guess that the Toka figure is basically the same in that regard. I don't know. Whatever. We've got the fire extinguisher from at the end of the movie where they had to reintroduce CO2 to be a catalyst in the retro mutagen. We've got Razar's shield, which is cool. You can put on his arm. So it's like just got these like nice kind of like loose rubber things, so it just will set over. And comes with an Ooze Canister. Just for fun, I guess. You know, because why not? And we've got the donuts. How well do you remember the movie there, Lobster?
Not that well.
So at the end of the movie, when there's like a big fight, they bring these pre-fight donuts as a means to try to introduce the retro mutagen into their system. Token razors, that is. And so it looks like we got the little box of donuts too, and I think it's actually a genuine box. It's not plastic. Okay, there we go. Trying to figure out how to open it. So we got the little box. Oh, how cute. Simply donuts. And you can put the pile of, I guess it's 8 donuts in here. So there's 7 of 8, and then, oh, the donut with the cube in it. See, Razar finds the cube with the retro music. You guys remember that? Alright, we got all the pieces out. Let's see how these hands are. They're bigger, so it like makes me feel less like scared. Yeah, totally. And what are we gonna put in for hands? They're a little confusing as to like what the heck's going on. So this is a big hand. I think maybe it's supposed to fit the. Ugh. Man. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's the big hand. I don't know, man. I don't know what's supposed to fit what, frankly. Frankly, does it matter? I don't know. Let's move on to Toka's hands. Maybe I'll feel less confused. Oh, Toka, he's so good. Like, there's just like a feeling that you get when you're holding him. Makes me feel good. So, Toka, we're gonna put this hand in, just randomly, just a random hand to put in for fun. What does it hold? I think this one might be able to hold the, oh yeah. So Toka holding a nice chunk of wood. Pretty good. What's his other hand gonna be? This hand is very small, but you could theoretically put something in it, but there's like nothing small enough that he comes with to put in it. So it's confusing. I wonder if it's because the puppet's hand couldn't close all the way, and so if it's supposed to be like authentic to that. I'm gonna put in this other slightly more open hand. Yeah, these feel good. They don't have that same, like, you can just pop them in and out and it doesn't feel like, oh god, am I gonna break it? Nice. Pretty epic. I think it's a cool figure. Maybe, I don't know, whatever. Weird. The hands are weird. They don't really seem, they seem weird. I don't know what the point of this like slightly open small hand is. Even this hand that is open slightly more doesn't, I don't know, maybe it's the pipe hand. Hold on. Pipe hand. Pipe hand. But even so, like, oh, wait for it.
It's better with a piece of wood.
He looks better. The wood's better.
The wood.
The wood feels more authentic. Like, feels like Toka, you know, because
Turtle with wood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It feels right. I agree. Cool. Let's put something in Razar's hands. Maybe, let's put this hand in. Looks like it probably hold the pipe. It's a satisfying sound, you know? Yep. Oh yeah. Actually, if I remember correctly, in the beginning of the movie when you first see Toka and Razar, you find out that they're basically like infants, and they're sitting on the floor, and Razar has like a pipe, and he bangs Toka off the head, and says, "Bang!" or something goofy like that. Yeah, so what are we gonna put in the other hand? The two wide open hands were the ones that he came with. There's a couple slightly smaller hands for seemingly no reason. And there's
the donuts. How can you hold the donut? You probably can't unless you balance it on top of his hand or something.
Well, it is he who it's Razar who finds the donut that is. I put the donuts in the little box. I don't know if you guys saw that. And yeah, he's the one who finds the icky donut. So he crushes it in his hand, right? So maybe it's like almost fits comfortably, but it kind of is pretty loose.
For posing, it would probably stay there. Be cool.
Yeah, so these figures are awesome. Oh, let's get his shield on too. Yeah, Toka and Raza are awesome. I like the Super Shredder figure, but as far as like the way it feels less sturdy, you know? Cool. How's that look? Pretty good, right? You guys ready to do Casey Jones and Raphael? Alright, now we're on to Casey Jones and Raphael. Let's slip these boys out and see how their packaging looks. Man, that was a lot of friggin'... I don't even know what you call those little rubber things that hold them in. But there was a lot of those to snip. This one, this seems like a pretty simple... Yeah, they have these great packings, but you just like can't even see them when they're in the box. I think this one's gonna be significantly easier to open, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so who do you want me to start with? Casey or Raph? What do you think? Let's start with Casey. You took too long. Alright. I can see Elias's face under there. It's too bad that they didn't make the mask, like, removable. You know what I mean? And I believe they also claimed that Elias's face was not under there. But there are some toy sculptors that I follow, and his face is definitely under there. They popped it off and made a sculpt. I'm pretty sure it's Does Machines who did a sculpt of it, so you can get like a plain Casey face for your figure if you hit him up. Again, I don't know why they wouldn't make it so that the mask came off. I mean, great that they were authentic, you know, so that you can see that it's Elias back there, but again, why would they not? Why would they not? So, I had Zachary over here when I got these in the mail, right? And I did a little unboxing mail video. And when we were opening that box, Zachary was talking about like how much he didn't like the fabric on figures. He doesn't like fabric on figures. And one of the thoughts I just had is like, if you're gonna do Raph in the fabric trench coat, why don't you do Casey in a fabric denim vest? I don't know. Then again, why wouldn't you do Raph in a nice rubber trench coat? Could go either way. So I've just been popping out some little pieces here and there. I'm getting Casey's hands and weapons together. Looks like he's got some good hands. How many sets do we have? We got a few. 1, 2. We got 3 sets. So yeah, some various hands. We'll play with those in a little bit. I'm gonna take Raph out. Yeah, funny. So like Raph has the fabric trench coat, but his backpack is plastic. And his hat's plastic. You know, not a complaint, just kind of an acknowledgement. Just a little bit amusing. And alright, so the cool backpack. He's wearing his cool trench coat. You know, it looks good. So I guess just the same sculpt that you would find on a regular Raph figure. And yeah, I mean, you can take it off if you chose to. I don't have any plans of doing that myself. We'll keep him nice and bundled. And I'll see if I can't figure out how to get his hat to stay on his head. Or maybe it's just one of those things where it lightly goes on. I don't know. But there is like a hole back here, which seems like it's supposed to accommodate the knot. Oh, there we go. So that's supposed to accommodate the knot. And you just give it a little push down. Boom. And now he is undercover Raph. And he comes with his base size, a slice of pizza, and some extra hands. 2 pointy hands, and 2 slappy / karate chop hands. We're not gonna mess around with his hands because, like, I just don't have any need to, really. Don't feel the need to do that. We're gonna gear him up with his size, and he's gonna look ill. Undercover Raph. Pop his hat off. Get that son of a gun over there. He also comes with two bandanas, or two extra bandanas. So there's the one that he's wearing right now that falls to each side of his face, and then there's one that falls to one side, and one that falls to the other side. So, boom. That's the Raph figure in a nutshell. The Casey figure's a little more elaborate. Let's see. Let's get his golf bag out. He's got his golf bag. He's got his, I guess it's a bat. It's a cricket bat. I think that's accurate. If it's not and you know what it is, please just correct us in the comments or whatever, and we'll rectify the misinformation next episode. We do try to be accurate in the information we're providing, and we do like to be called on our BS, so if there's any to call us on, please do. Jose Canseco bat, 2-for-1 sale. We've got the golf club back here, which at the end of the movie, Casey uses the golf club to knock some sense into Tatsu. This is very, like, feels pretty thin. Looks pretty thin. Be careful. Careful with your golf club if you're playing with your toys. And then we got two different hockey sticks. We got a goalie stick and a regular stick, so boom. Pretty rocking and rolling. Let's see how they fit in there, because it already feels kind of tight with just like the couple of things that are in there. So if Casey's carrying around this golf bag, how come he can't fit all of his weapons into it? Little things, NECA. It's the little things. Maybe it's just a matter of how you put them in. Look at that. Put it on Casey. And now he feels like the king of the world. Look at this guy. Elias. Alright, so those were the NECA figures. My new ones, anyways. What you guys didn't know is that a little bit ago, Lobster and I shot a video, and it was like a crazy 10-hour shoot. We found multiple technical difficulties that we kept coming across, and then at the end of the day, we found out that it was basically unusable. So what that taught us was stamina and perseverance. Because that was theoretically lost footage, I'm just going to acknowledge the 4 regular figures that I have. So we did an unboxing, you know. I like the figures. They're pretty awesome. They're a lot of fun. The way the plastic feels is just ill. They came with the bandanas for each side, but didn't have the bandana that falls to both sides. Yeah, Donatello had this little fabric thing on his shell there where you could put his bow staff in. The very first time I tried to, one of the things came undone, and I had to like retie it, which I was successfully able to do. And then I had put it in the back of his shell, and he fell over and it popped out both of these things. So I've since decided that those are fairly cheaply made and kind of like not very well done. One of them was like coming undone and I had to like trim it and like burn the fabric. So that really would have served better with just having like one rubber piece to slide Don's bow down, just like Raph has the little rubber pieces on his belt that you can put the size into. So that's how I feel about that. Overall, very solid figures though, and they all have a bunch of like interchangeable hands. I don't think we need to go into detail on that. The Leonardo is very cool, but sort of in the same realm as my complaint with Dawn. The way his scabbards fall across his back are bowed, so you can't really put his swords into his scabbards without them bowing as well. You know, I don't really know what to say about that in terms of like how it could have been done better, but that is the scenario at hand, is that, you know, if these had maintained a straighter quality, then he could actually use his scabbards without damaging the accessories that he already has. Overall, very solid. Michelangelo, I really like his nunchucks and the fact that you can like tuck them under his shell and whatnot. He has a similar situation with his weapons. Really, Raph is the only one whose weapons adequately go into his belt. Michelangelo has this little space here. His weapons don't fit in it. They just fall through down his leg. So that's kind of lame, but at the same time, it's no worse than any of the other figures. The other funny thing about this particular figure is his eye is slightly offset. So he gives him a kind of a creepy look. This eye is kind of over here a little bit. You know, everything's hand painted, so it's not really a complaint. It is a slight bummer, but still very awesome. And while I have these figures out, I just kind of wanted to acknowledge the fact that these GameStop figures and this, I believe, Walmart, you know, exclusive figure have different faces. Like, they're the same sculpt, but the paint jobs are sort of different. So I'm gonna have to get to the bottom of who did the paint jobs on the GameStop versus the Walmart exclusives, and then we'll find a place to like plug that information in for y'all. Hey everyone, so I just wanted to stop for a second and say that through some further research, I think that the four brothers are bootlegs. So the other ones I got actually from NECA, the four brothers I didn't. It's looking like they're bootlegs. I just wanted to take a second to acknowledge that. So take everything I say when I'm critiquing them with a grain of salt, because I don't even think that they're real. Alright, here you go. Get back to it. In case you were wondering. So yeah, that's the NECA figures. A quick critique of the boxing. I like the GameStop figures. I like the open windows. I think they're cool. Leonardo's box, though, has like paint on the inside. It has yellow paint on the inside of that window. So that makes for unfortunate displayability if I had chosen to keep them in the box. I believe that it is Raphael as well. Yeah, has red paint on the inside of his box. So another example of where if you're a collector who wanted to keep your stuff in a box, like that would be a bummer. Especially like a lot of the stuff you just can't get in person. So if you're ordering it online, you don't actually know what you're actually going to get. You're getting whatever gets shipped to you, not the one that you got to pick up and look at and handle. So it's unfortunate that the boxing doesn't always come in good shape, especially where, you know, some people are collectors like on a hardcore sense where it's all about value and you know, like pristineness. I'm just a collector for fun, for my love of the Ninja Turtles and the love of toys and being able to like kindle that fire that keeps the child inside of me alive, so I don't turn into a crusty old dub, you know. So I think it's important to acknowledge these things as we come across them. Like, bummer on the boxing. Just take better care. Make sure that you know things don't have those bits of paint, and if they do, there should be some level of quality control. Like that could easily probably be rectified with a quick wipe of an alcohol pad if there was a quality control on it. The other two boxes seem to come out fine. Yes, they did. They don't have any paint on the inside of the box. So that's the NECA figures. Alright, so I just told you about our Lost episode. In that Lost episode, we play with some of our friend John over at Sewer Vaults Toys. You might remember John and his Sewer Vault toys from episode 5, as well as earlier episodes too. He's got some really good stuff over there. So in episode 5, I play with a couple of his Ghostbusters Ecto Slime containers. Well, he made some throwback retro mutagen as well. A large and a small, just like with the ectoplasm. And so let's crack these boys open and see what we got in there, shall we? Oh yeah, it's got a good tight lid. So green, we got some good greeny. And it's a little bit dried up on the edge there. I don't know why it doesn't have its little plastic piece. That's too bad. But no biggie. Let's rip this. Oh yeah. Does that look good or what? I think so. Oh yeah. We got a little purple turtle in there. A retro mutagenized turtle. That's fun. So yeah, these are just like a throwback to an old toy that used to exist. A little turtle. That's a little retro mutagen turtle. And on the case, it's yeah, you see Leonardo being turned into a little baby turtle. Into a little baby turtle with the retro mutagen. Now we got our larger size. Pretty sure this one's just green as well, if I remember correctly. Yeah, another green one. Yeah, look at that. Nice gloopy booger. Oh yeah, look at that slime trail. So let's see. Get the crusty little edge off. Because, you know, nobody wants the crusty edge in their slime. It's lame. And... whoa, this one's like a glue blur. Yeah, jelly roll that one is. And I guess the larger one has the glow version of the turtle. Boom. So yeah, cool. Little glow version of the turtle, just like with the other one, the ectoplasms. That is, one's a solid color, one's a glow version, and fun stuff. You know, just more slime fun. John over at Sewer Vault also sent me this little retro mutagen keychain just for fun, along with this other cool like skull turtle logo ooze file. So thanks again, Sewer Vault. Alright, so in the spirit of our toy talks, we are going to leave you on one last note of TMNT 2 Secret of the Ooze wax card pack opening. So front, back, open. What do we got here? It's Topps cards, so they do the same thing with the, wow, something got weird, the way the glue or the wax stuck to the card. So this is the sticker and or puzzle piece, and it looks like we got a Michelangelo. A Michelangelo in his director's chair, because they did a lot of promotion around this movie. There was a lot of like behind the scenes footage of like the turtles as the turtles working on the movie. And let's see what else we got. We gotta save Raph! No match for Razar! Clobbered by Kino! A bogey-like farewell! The showdown! Blasting the shredder! Dawn. The anti-mutagen. Wow, guys. There you go. 8 cards and a sticker. How was that for exciting?
That sure went out fun! Fun!
Oh, sorry guys, I forgot to do the intro. I just get so distracted with my turtles. Yeah, so that was today's haul. I'm really digging my new NECA figures. I think they're very super cool. It was some like mild complaints as you saw along the way. Before we go, I just want to give a shout out to Never Die Clothing for the super dope Villains Pizza Party t-shirt. I want to give a shout out to Kevin Eastman for this awesome First Turtles hat, and to Ninja Toidles for this awesome Last Ronin pin. So, man, thanks for coming back to another Toy Talk. We really appreciate having you guys around. So, just keep tuning in. We'll see you around the internet. All right, guys. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.